Yeah, go ahead.
We learned about pseudo classes and combinators.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Basically, pseudo classes or combinators we use when we don't want to do any changes into the HTML file itself,
Mm-hmm.
and we want to attach some styling to the elements or tags of the HTML file.
Mm-hmm.
We can we can achieve this using the pseudo classes and combinators. So there are different uh, predefined classes. Uh, we can use those uh,
Mm-hmm.
as a pseudo classes
Mm-hmm.
like child, last child, and we can apply whatever those properties to the tags of the to HTML tags. And combinators, there are basically four types of combinators to explain.
Okay.
Uh, Descendant selector, child selector, adjacent, and general sibling. So, uh, do I need to explain each one of them?
If you can explain, it would be great.
Pardon?
If you can explain, it would be great.
Mm, Means descendant selectors. You can set the properties from the CSS to the
Mm-hmm.
all descendant elements of the
Okay.
HTML.
Mm-hmm.
Child selectors means only those are applicable to the only child of uh, those combinator we are using the CSS.
Mm-hmm.
Adjacent sibling means this, they have the common parent and they are applicable to the sibling of that parent.
Okay.
Sibling of means the child of the same parent and
Okay.
sibling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And general
General what?
um,
General sibling selector. Adjacent sibling selector, general sibling selector.
means all the siblings.
Yeah. Adjacent means only one. General means
Only all.
all.
Yep.
That's it.
Yeah. So the advantage of this is we don't need to actually update the uh, HTML file which is already written by the developer,
Mm-hmm.
and adding this code into the CSS file, we can apply these styles to the existing elements tags in the HTML. Right?
Yeah. Now, one thing I would like to, you see my screen, right?
No, not now.
Now,
It's loading. Yeah.
web dev Angular. So, yesterday we have talked about, yesterday we have talked about CSS3 combinators, CSS3 pseudo classes. Now, today, what I wanted to do, day, I want to take you to the JavaScript just to make little uncomfortable, or TypeScript or JavaScript here. Index 01.html, app 01.js, and new style 01.js. HTML5, okay, structure we have got, and DOM selectors. What is DOM? Can you tell me? It is document object model. Whenever, what I'm saying, whenever, okay, let's just add the script s, sorry, not script, link rel css in the current directory style 01.css, style 01.css, and let's import the JS script src app01.js. Do you remember this or not?
I think we have not done with the script. I remember the link.
Link you remember, right?
Yeah. Script.
We have seen somewhere that you can execute JavaScript in, okay, I will revise it, no problem.
Yeah, I remember that. We can use JavaScript here also.
Correct.
Like button click and all. This script tag I'm seeing for the
first time. Okay,
that
I got
what
it.
I'm seeing.
Yeah. Now see here, you can write JavaScript, whatever JavaScript we have learned so far. Like const a is equals to 10 and console.log a. This is what the script is. HTML says that you can write script. You can write script in the script tag like this. So this JavaScript is normal, correct?
Yes.
So this is the JavaScript that we have studied. Now what happens here is that the way your CSS becomes lengthier. If CSS is lengthier, it is unmanageable. What we do? We push it to the separate file, correct?
Yes.
So here also there is a lot of scope over here where your script becomes lengthy. And if your script is lengthy, your HTML and JavaScript will reside in one file. That is not acceptable, or that is not good idea. In the do you agree this thing? In a HTML, if you want to write the JavaScript, you need to use a script tag.
Yes.
The way if you want to write a style in JavaScript, you need to use which tag? Style tag.
Style tag. Yeah.
In the same fashion, if you want to access or if you want to write JavaScript in HTML file, you need to use what? Script tag, right? Another thing, let's have a input type is equals to text. Type is equals to text, and ID is equals to ABC, some ID, correct? And console.log document, see, this is the browser object. Whenever we have seen that JavaScript can be executed in different environments, right? JavaScript can be executed in browser environment because browser is having JavaScript interpreter. In the same fashion, JavaScript can be executed outside the browser. So this is the JavaScript. This can be executed inside browser, and this can be executed outside browser. Outside browser, it's a Node.js, Bun.js, Deno.js, different things are there. You don't need to worry about this. But JavaScript which runs into the browser, here is the actual game. So whenever you write console.log, here also, both the runtimes understand what is console.log. But there are few things like window object, a document object. So these are the specific objects. There is no window for this environment, right? It's logical. Node.js, a server-side framework. So there is no window. There is nothing called as window in a Node.js. Agree or not? Hello?
Yeah.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible. I'm thinking.
Okay.
I don't know about Node.js.
No problem. So we have executed some files. We have written app.js, and then we said node app.js. Yes or no?
Yes.
We have done this thing, right?
Right.
And this file has nothing to do with the browser at that time because we have just written arrays, loops, right? If conditions and other things.
Correct.
Agree or not? So this file has nothing to do with the browser. In simple programming language we have learned. But whenever you talk about the JavaScript, inside browser, it comes with its own features. Like your JavaScript application is running inside this window. Whatever this window you can see here, whole and soul this. The window is having close button. Window is having this close button, minimize button like that. Window is having width. This is a width. Window would be having some height. This is a height. So you can access the window properties by means of the window object. Similarly, the HTML page that is going to get loaded into your browser can be accessed by document object. Now let's go here. Let me show you. So desktop and what? Web dev Angular 33. Not here. Here. DOM selectors. And if you inspect it, console, can you see the document? So first A you have printed console.log A. This is nothing but this 10. Okay. If you see here, console.log const A is equals to 10, console.log A. And after that you have printed console.log what? Document. So this is a predefined object, always available in the browser environment. So this is the HTML. Where you are going to run this HTML? In the browser. So this document object always available in the browser environment. That's what I was trying to tell. So in a Node.js environment, few other objects are available. In the browser environment, few other objects are available. Correct?
Yeah.
So one of them is a document, which will refer, I'm repeating myself again, the document object will refer to the loaded document in the browser. Can you see what it is pointing to? This document object is pointing to this HTML. Can you see here? And if I hover over cursor here, that is becoming blue. By means of this document object, you can access any of the tag in a script. See, if you can do console.log document, and this is pointing to whole and soul loaded document over here, by means of this document object, you can access anything. Right?
Hello, Aniruddha.
Yeah.
Your voice is breaking in between. Some sentences are breaking.
Am I not clearly audible?
Yes, sometimes it is breaking.
Okay. Please let me know if this happens again. Okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
So you are saying like using this document, you can access each
loaded HTML. So document points to what? So here, if I try to write it, document points to the document object is pointing to loaded document in browser. Document in this sense, the HTML.
Yes.
The document object is available to you in which environment? Browser environment. So let's forget about the node environment right now. You don't need to worry about the node environment. So document object is there. Similarly, there is a window object. There is a location object. These are different objects available to you in the browser environment. Local storage object. So these different objects are available to you in browser environment. And one of them is what? Document. We will see these things time to time. Okay. So whenever you are running JavaScript in the browser environment, you get access to those objects. And one of the important, or the one we are interested right now, is a document object. What is document object? It is pointing to the loaded HTML in the browser. Now, if this object is pointing to loaded HTML, so that we can access this guy, this input element, by means of this object, right? So how to do that? So here you can say document.querySelector. So yesterday we have seen we can select in a CSS, we can select the element in 3 ways. By means of, can you see that? By means of name, tag name.
Pardon the question.
By means, in a CSS, you can select the element by means of tag name, by means of class name
And ID.
ID, right? Or you can apply some pseudo classes over there,
Yeah.
right? Similarly, if you want to access this input element, so here I can say const IP. Now I want to access this guy and I want to store this input element into this IP. So query selector, the CSS selectors we have seen yesterday. If I want to select this hash ABC, right? If you want to access this in the style, how do you write? Hash ABC, right? Why hash?
Because it is ID.
ID, correct. I can access this input type text and I can apply some class, say class big, right? And I can have a div, and inside that div I can write paragraph lorem ipsum, and I want to access this. Now see, const IP big is equals to, so this can be anything. This is a variable name. This can be anything. So document.querySelector. So here you need to write a query. How do you select this? Dot big, the element, because remember that there can be multiple classes, there can be multiple elements who have attached with the big. Yes or no? It's a class.
Yes.
And class can be applied to the multiple element. That's why query selector all, right? Now if you want to select this guy, how do you write a style? Const para is equals to document.querySelector. It would be only one. That's why we need to write a selector over here. So how do you write a selector? Inside div, if there is a P, give me that P, right? Yes or no?
Yes.
In
So this is
combinator.
Combinator.
This is what?
Combinator.
Combinator. Now if you console it, console.log ip, console.log ipbig, and console.log para, correct? Now refresh it. Okay, it's not getting in document you are getting. Just do one thing, write this script. Now what is happening, see here, first script is loaded and then body is loaded, and that's why these guys are not initialized. Agree?
Okay.
First this much code is executing, yes or no?
Yes, yes.
First this script is getting executed and then this body is getting executed. So here in the script what is happening, when this line is getting executed, that element is not created yet. That element is yet to be created, right? And that's why you are getting null over here. Can you see that? Now a good idea is to that there, after the, when we will learn events, there is a thing to do over here. Now just copy the script tag after the body, after all the tags are getting loaded, then write the script and refresh it. Can you see here? Now see here, you get input abc node list. There is only one, this is an array, there is only one class or only one element to whom this big is applied, and here you are getting the paragraph. The same fashion, in the same fashion you will select this in a style.
So you can write the script tag code in the body as well.
Anywhere, anywhere. After the body also you can write, no problem. This is the tag. It is nothing fancy. That is the tag. And HTML says that you can write tag anywhere.
Okay, so suppose in case of we checked about the relation with the CSS file. So in that case, do we need to add only in the header part?
Yeah, links, styles would be getting added only in a head. Okay. But the script tag can be added anywhere.
Hello?
Script tag can be added anywhere. I have proper internet. Okay. So what I'm saying, it is the concept which is related to the yesterday's topic only, CSS selectors. Here I have used the combinators. You can use what? You can use combinators, you can use pseudo classes, anything. In a query selector, you can use anything. So yesterday we have seen how do you select this element in a styles. Today we have seen how do you select this particular element in the JavaScript area, script tag, right? Now your code would be becoming lengthy. So it's a bad idea to write that code over here. So that you can write that code in a separate JS file, script src, and here you can say app01.js. So this is the one script in the HTML page itself. This is a script outside. So whatever you have written, so here you can say console.log, and here I can say console.log external script, right? external script, and here I can say console.log document. Any problem in understanding? See, this much is coming from the internal script, then external script has been loaded, and inside that it is printing the document object.
Can you show the code?
Yeah. Go to the HTML. SRC means where is the source file?
Yeah, source.
Source file for JavaScript.
Source. Java file.
JS file?
Yeah. So here you do not write the end, whatever the code we write in this inside.
We can write if you want to.
We can write.
Yeah.
You are just printing the entire document.
Document, correct. Document dot. Now see get element by ID. If you want to access this only by means of ID, then you HTML has given you a dedicated function, right? IP ABC is equals to this.
So suppose you are written this ID, this class defined in the HTML.
Correct. Yeah.
So how can you access those IDs into the JS file? Means we are referring this JS file into the HTML.
Correct. See here.
But vice versa is not possible.
Means I didn't understand.
See, we are referring this script SRC
in HTML.
In HTML.
Correct.
Okay? But you said like we can use these classes or IDs into the JS file as well. So how come means there is no reference for the HTML in the JS file?
Yeah. Look at this document object. This document object is bridge between your HTML and the JS. If document can print, is document is giving you access to full HTML. Can you see this? So here, this console.log document, what is a document? A loaded HTML. So what document object will print a point to? Document object will point to the loaded HTML in the browser. Loaded HTML in the browser.
Yeah.
So if document is giving you access to the full page, with the help of this document, you can traverse to particular IDs or the classes. Either you can use method querySelector. Right, here we have used which method? If you want to apply the CSS selectors, if you want to select the particular element by means of the CSS selectors, then you will use which method? Which method you will use? querySelector method. And if you want to access ID, if you want to access element specifically by means of ID, only ID, nothing else, then JavaScript has given you a dedicated method called as getElementById.
Okay, but here on left hand side, you use hash abc and dot big using the query selector.
Correct. Correct.
And here you are using get element.
Get element by dedicatedly. Internally, it's the query selector method only. Internally, the internal implementation would be the query selector only. But if you want to specifically access by means of ID, no class, no CSS, pseudo class, specifically by means of what? ID. Only ID, then you can use this. Correct? But if you want to apply the CSS selectors, that is select by means of ID, select by means of class name, select by means of tag name or select by using pseudo classes or combinators. Then what you will use? Document.querySelector. So this gives you a bigger range. This gives you only by means of ID.
And we can use this get element by ID in the HTML file also, right? With a replacement to the line number 20.
See, there is no difference in this script tag. So this script you have written in a page itself, the way you can write style in a page, right?
Right. But so whatever is available in the JavaScript you can use inside the HTML script tag.
Yeah, HTML script tag. Now one step ahead, the way writing style over here is a bad practice, right? Because you cannot reuse that styles in your other projects. Similarly, if you have written a nice code for date manipulation, that would be limited to this page itself. I want to use the date manipulation code in login also. So at that time, you need to copy this script tag as it is. So instead of that, you should create a separate JS file. So whatever you can write over here, same thing you can write over here. No difference. Here is the linking between HTML and the JavaScript. Because of this line, so here you have said that, well, I'm not going to write script in a page here. You're saying that, well, I'm not going to write script inside the script tag, but I will ship that code into the separate file. So that it would be more maintainable.
Right.
Correct?
Hello?
Yeah, am I audible?
Your voice is breaking. Just break for the last sentence.
Okay.
Repeat the last sentence.
Yeah. So this line says that I will not write the script in a page itself, but I will ship this code in a separate file. Correct?
Hello?
Am I audible?
Hello?
Yeah, you are audible. I can hear you clearly.
Aniruddha, if your network is okay, can I rejoin the meeting?
Correct. Yeah, no problem.
Once again?
Yes.
Give me a minute.
Yeah, you can join. Yes. Yeah, I'm listening. No problem. So did you understand whatever we have seen so far?
Yes, yes.
Any question?
So, like here, like document.querySelector, document.getElementById, there are such many other functions as well.
Yeah, many other methods are there. To begin with, just remember these two.
Oh.
Because yesterday we have covered this part, right? So you got clearly what's happening exactly here, 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 right? Okay, let me push this much code. JavaScript query selector.
Can you show me the output in the program?
Yeah, see. Can you see you're directly getting? So if I do this thing, input ABC, const IP ABC is equals to document.getElementById. ID. Here you don't need to write hash, remember that. because you are already doing over here get element by id. You are specifying you need to access by means of what? id.
Yeah.
But here it's a general css3 selector. You need to specify, but here you don't need to specify, but method itself is taking care of that part. Okay, now if you see I have printed this console.log ipabc. Can you see it is straight away giving you input element? If I hover cursor over here, see this guy is selected. Can you see it is getting selected? So whatever you type inside this, now let's assign a static value over here, value, and I can say Android. Refresh it. Can you see Android over here? You can access that value also. How? This is the input box. The input box is having one attribute called as value.
Yeah.
So this will point to the input box. So here if you do ipabc dot value, you will get what? Actual value Android. Can you see? So this is the input box, the object which is pointing to the input box. And you can access this object means ipabc.type, it will return you the text. ipabc.id, it will return you the abc. ipabc.value, it will return you the Android. This is how communication is happening. Okay, let's see some real-time thing. Now index02 .html, and inside this now I will, for few days I will write script in a page. Or dynamism. Or good. So some, I'm not getting page name right now. Main I can write over here, and there is a input type text, and there is a one more input type button. Input type what? Button. Now let me apply the style. We can write a separate file also, but here I can say main arrow, main arrow, nth child, say first one, and you can say font size, I can say larger. Font size what? Larger. So you can open this HTML 02.html. Can you see a little bit bigger?
Yes.
Even we can give a number also, 30 pixels. Can you see 30 pixels? Now to the button also, nth child. Or if you want to apply font size to all, main you can say star. Star means all inside main. Refresh it, and here we can apply value. Say okay. Can you see number? Okay, correct.
Yeah.
Star means what? All. You got it, right?
Yeah.
Now inside this section, now you tell me this will work or not. So in one section we have done something like this. It will not work, right? Now I want to, will it work? See, what is the meaning of this?
This means inside main, all the sections.
No, but I need, there would be multiple sections inside this.
Yes.
I need to apply to the first section only. So here we can say nth element. Nth child is 0.
Yeah.
Not applied. And if you do section colon, nth child first. Okay, it is getting applied. And now inside this section, now I will use a script tag over here. So script can be written at the end until we learn the events. Now I have a const arr array, and here I can say Android or ABC PQR LMN and XYZ. Inside this section, I would be having unordered list. What is unordered list? Now, if you write inside unordered list, I have list items. Say ABC, PQR, LMN, XYZ, and refresh it. Can you see unordered list? Hello?
Yeah.
Unordered list. Similarly, there is an ordered list OL, ordered list 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right? Also, we can change the type, make it UL. So I will just copy another thing, put it in a div, because we need to make a section of the section div refresh, reformat the document. So here I can say UL stands for unordered list, OL stands for ordered list, LI stands for list item, right? This is the unordered list. Sorry, this is the ordered list. This is the unordered list, bullets. Also, you can change, if you can say UL list style type decimal circle. See now? Yeah, can you see? This is getting changed. There are a lot of types are there. Gregorian. Can you see? You can do a lot of things. Unordered list. Decimal leading 0. See now? 0, 1 like this. And a lot of things you can do. Right? Symbols, squares, upper alpha, upper Roman, initial. We'll talk about that initial. What do you mean by unset initial? None later on. A disk. Here you can say this is the disk by default one. A lower alpha. Here you can see something like this. Lower alphabets, right?
Yeah.
UL and OL. You got it. What is a OL, LI, right? Now I will have one more section. Into that section, I want to create the unordered list, UL. And to that unordered list, data would be this, coming from an array. Angular. Why do you need Angular? One line of code in Angular. But here, you will understand in the DOM manipulation what Angular doing internally. My concern is that you need to write a code in such a way that, so this is the funda, you got it. Well, then you need to go on writing the LIs.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, we wanted to create this thing inside this UL.
Till the
we
size of array.
yeah, till the size of array you need to go on printing the li's. How to do that?
We need a loops.
Okay, and
You can without loop you can access one by one element.
okay, see now something like this. Document.write. Here I can say li or h1 abc h1. Just refresh it. Can you see abc is getting added at the end? Document dot what? Write. So if you can create the string dynamically, so see here something like this. I'll delete it from here. Okay, so const content is equals to, in a backtick we can write it, yes or no? This is the backtick I have.
Yeah, I remember that. HTML tags, right?
Yeah, this is normal string. You can write multi-line string, right?
Okay.
If you can write multi-line string, you can write anything over here.
Yeah.
Okay, just for easiest thing, this is the backtick, a normal way of writing the string. Now what we can do here, we can write a for loop for arr dot, or we, okay, let's write a normal for loop. I will not make it difficult. Let I is equals to 0, I is less than arr dot length, and I plus plus, correct? We need this as a let. Now what do we need? What do we need exactly? So in this li's, we can say li's is equals to or plus equals to earlier li plus this. We can say just create a string li, into that arr of I and the li. It's a string we can create, right?
Yeah.
We can create a string something like this, yes or no?
Yes.
Then you can say document dot write, and here also you can pass the string, right? This is a string. So we can use a property of, we can use something called as backticks, and into this we can point to that li's, and here we can do ul. Means, how do you transport content, how do you create html content from the javascript? Remember that again, bridge is the document guy. Who is helping you? Document is helping you, right? Document.write this ul and refresh it. Ul, any problem? Okay, let's print this console.log. Something is having problem. Li's, what it is doing. Okay, li is not defined.
LIs or LI?
LIS, that is the concern. Refresh it. And can you see again here, ABCD that has been created.
Mhm.
Now you can go and adding the elements PPP, QQQ, and refresh it. Automatically it would be getting added to this thing. Document.write, a new feature we have seen. So here simply you are creating a string. If you inspect it, we have just print console.log. Can you see here? The string is looking like this. Hello?
Yeah.
Li into that ABC. It will create next Li. Again next Li, next Li, next Li, like this. So we have studied first what do you mean by array. We have studied what do you mean by for loop and actual implementation of it.
So the value of this variable LIs,
Mm-hmm.
we are concatenating the string.
Correct. Plus equals to. Yes.
Okay, and the string is finally created.
Correct.
And we are printing this screen, this list
Array
in the browser. But at the same time, this will be act as a tags of the HTML.
Correct, because you have written doc. Yeah. So this is the normal string. Can you see in the console? This is a normal string.
Yes.
But the minute you write this in a HTML, it has a meaning. This string has a meaning. For the console, there is no meaning.
So it automatically gets converted.
Automatically gets converted. So whatever LIs you have created over here, simply you have written in between the ULs. So this is, so still here it is a string in the JavaScript part. But the minute you write it on a document, that is the HTML document, it has meaning.
That becomes the part of HTML.
Correct. Like this. So this is the bad way of working with the elements. I'm saying again, this is the bad way of creating content dynamically. But you should know this. What is the correct way? Over the period of time, you will get to know. So what we have seen, fetching the elements from HTML to the JavaScript, sending the content from JavaScript to the HTML, both way possible. Correct?
Yes.
This is all about
Mm-hmm.
today's session. I can cover many things also, but let's have a halt here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. JavaScript document.write. Please revise the things.
Mm-hmm.
I will upload recordings by end of tomorrow. And tomorrow we are meeting. Let me stop the recording just a minute.